Today we're introducing the new Grizley range of flood and drain tables, or ebb and flow is the other name for them. I've already partly filled this table, so you don't spend hours looking at a table full of water. We're going to turn it on a minute and you'll see that the actual table start to fill. Then we'll go through the advantages that this Grizley table has over the tables of old, and you'll see it overflowing and how it empties. So I'm just going to turn it on now. Okay, so the table is now turned, the pump is now turned on. The pump is situated, this is in one of our clients' greenhouses. Well, not our clients, a client's greenhouse. The pump is situated in a 200 litre cut down drum, and it's just pumping up into the flood and drain table. As you can see, it's filling the whole table up. Once it fills the whole table up, it'll start to overflow, and it'll overflow back down through the overflow. At the end of the process, it'll turn off, and when it turns off, the whole table will empty either by the overflow, and then after that it'll empty down through the pump and back out into the tank. The advantage with these tables over the older ones that we used to use is they're heated right to the very outside edge of the table, and with the thick outside edge of the table, as you can see, it's very thick. It insulates the whole bed so that the table stays the same temperature across its entire bed, upper bed. The real positives that come out of it also is that because it's so thick, the insulation on this is quite amazing. Takes a little bit of time to warm up, but once it's warmed up, it's up to heat and very, very constant. And your first thing you notice when you use one of these tables is the consistency of growth across the entire table, right to the very outside edge. We're still waiting, it's just about overflowing now. Our customer has already started to put some trays on here. These are mescaline trays, but it's perfect for seed raising and all cut crop like basil or coriander or that kind of thing. So the whole idea again is that it just pumps up, gets to a height where the overflow can be adjusted, it can be put up or down, just whatever you want to, and then it floods back down through the overflow and back into the tank. And it's just starting now. The thing with the heater on these tables is unlike the old ones where you had two heaters, two strips of heaters. This one's got just one heater over the whole table. It's in its own heating cavity inside the table, so it's protected. You don't have to worry at any stage about putting a bit of plastic over the top of the heating element to protect it. It's fully protected and stays protected for the life of the table. Now, as you can see, it's just starting to overflow. And as I say again, you can adjust the overflow, and the overflow can be raised or lowered to get the height to how you want it on the table, depending on whether you want a deep flood or a shallow flood. Right, we're about to turn it off now. We'll just give it another 30 seconds to be able to really start to overflow. As you can see, it's starting to get more and more. Okay, and when we turn it off, you'll see the vortex form as it starts to, the table starts to empty via the pump. So we've turned it off now, and the pump and the water's flowing quite fast. In this case it's water, but you can run nutrient solutions or fungicides in the table as well. It's all chemical resistant. It's a food grade product on the outside, so there's no issues with anything like that. It's a rubberized compound, it's quite tough. You can patch it if you were to drop a hammer on it or something. It can be patched up and filled, and yeah, back to normal, unlike the other ones that used to crack and break and warp. It's very, very stable in heat as well. I think that's another thing. So while we're just watching this start to empty, we won't bore you with watching the whole thing empty, but just to go through the advantages. The heating mats are very inexpensive to run because of the insulating properties of the table. It heats right to the very outside edge. There's no need to change your trays around on it all the time. The very outside edge is a 40mm thick insulator, so that's really good. It's extremely stable. It doesn't warp or bend in heat and high humidities, and basically it's a really great product. And as you can see, it's now emptying very fast down through the pump. And that's it. That's the Grizley flood and drain and ebb and flow table.